Robert Kenyatta, it's a pleasure meeting you out here in Philadelphia.
The same here, my brother.
And we're standing in front of a mural that was dedicated to John Coltrane, but I see that a building has been built right in front of it, and I hope this is not a metaphor for something that will block the cultural advancement and the cultural importance of John Coltrane. And I wonder what your thoughts were about that.
Well, it was very surprising because when they erected the I think it's called the Philadelphia Arts Community or Society, young lady that got together to call me to dedicate that. And I had hired a trio to perform. And as a result, the next thing I looked one day on my way to go teach, I drove by here, they was putting up a building.
Yeah.
Right in front of the John Coltrane mural. So it's sad in a sense, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't heard any other plans. I hear that they may do it somewhere else. All right, good brother. How you been now? They're going to do another one.
Yeah.
I just don't know where they're going to put it at yet.
Right.
You know.
Right. So we're gonna head over to the Coltrane House, and along the way, I want you to talk about the community and talk a little bit about your history, because we're gonna take a deep dive into your experience and your journey in the music, and I'm looking forward to spending the next hour, however long it takes to get that story. So let's get over to the Coltrane House and so that we can continue our talk.
All right, sounds good.
So Robert Kenyatta, we're back here at the Coltrane House, and I want you to tell me about some of your earliest memories of John Coltrane.
Well, one, I was always a listener to his music, and even up until 1966, I'd never seen Coltrane in person, and I'd heard so much about him, traveling all through New York, and I had just about every one of his albums that I had purchased. And just so happened one day at the Church of the Advocate, 18th and Diamond Street in North Philadelphia, one of the priests there, Father Washington, allowed us to have 2 days of rehearsal, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we were there from 7 to 8:45. We had to be out by 9 o'clock, so we would pack up by 1:15 so we could go and leave the building so they could, lock it up and whatnot. And then during 1966, on a Tuesday, who should walk through the door? None other than John Coltrane. At that time, it was 8 o'clock. And of course, we had to be out by 8:45. John comes up on the stage, and out of all the drummers that were present, he walks over to me. Now, we had Bobby Crowder, Bobby Artis, Bobby Franklin, Walt Mitchell, and we had another drummer who was but Umar, who is the brother to Rashid Ali, who played traps at this time for John Coltrane.
Right.
Because Elvin Jones had played for him prior to that. So when John walks in, like I said, out of all the drummers, he just happens to walk over to me. He says, "Would you mind if I sit in with you drummers?" I flagged him. And what I mean by that, man, get out of here. You John Coltrane.
Exactly.
So He smiled, went on the other end of the stage, and when he went on the other end of the stage, he pulled out, he put his horn on the floor, took his horn out, the case, got it together, put the mouthpiece in, and we happened to be playing a rhythm that we familiarized with, that we play frequently. It's called cabilto. And one of the parts that go to it is bataka 2. Then you have what we call a 2/4 rhythm. It's like a bata rhythm. Buka, 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 buka. Then you have what would be the mama drum, who is playing basically the call on the drum. And what happens is that rhythm, to give you an example of what we were playing, is the cabilto sounds like this. Boom, boom, bop, 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 boom, boom, bop. And the cabilto is a stick drum rhythm on the side of the drum and the head. Bakum, katara, 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 bakum, tatara, katara, katara, bakum, tatara, katara, katara. Then you had a 2/4. Buka, 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 buka. Then you had a mama. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. So we were playing that rhythm. John Coltrane, on the left of us, was playing like this. So we looked at one another, say, wow, that ain't fitting, but that's John Coltrane.
Right, right.
Because we know horn parts that fit with these rhythms. So that was on a Tuesday, October 1966. Thursday, we were back there again. John Coltrane comes in at 8:15. This time he didn't ask could he sit in. He just went on the end, put out his horn. So we look at each other. Again, that's John Coltrane. So now, the second week, he came in exactly 8 o'clock on a Tuesday. We performed the drum. He went right on stage. Same thing. Thursday, he came back again, 8 o'clock. That's the second week. Third week, the same thing. He came in 8:15. So now we know if he ain't coming in at 8, he'd be in there at 8:15. Fourth week of October, same thing. He came in 8 o'clock. Now, the next one is November 1966. John Coltrane came in 8:15. No, he missed. That first week of November, he didn't come in Tuesday. Okay? He came in, we said to ourselves, wow, man, I wonder where Train is. I said, well, he's probably gigging. You know how busy he stay.
Because he had been coming pretty regularly.
Yes, a whole month. So when November came, he didn't come Tuesday. We start questioning, He came in Thursday, 8:15, went up on the stage, and remember the rhythm I said, boom,
exactly.
boom, bop,
of
boom,
all
boom,
the
bop.
drummers, exactly.
He pulled out his horn and played cabilto on his horn. Be-dee-dee, 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 be-dee-dee. Then he went to cabilto. Be-dee, be-dee-dee, be-dee-dee, be-dee, be-dee-dee, the 2/4 rhythm. Bicky, 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 bicky. And the mama, bick, bloop, 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 blip, 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 blip. Then he went. It blew our mind.
I can imagine.
We look. Only thing I could say to myself, man, I'm gonna hold my rhythm because he in it now. You don't lose no rhythm now. There ain't no mistakes happening here.
He let you know that he recognized what everybody was doing.
Yes, Yes. And my contention is he went home and he memorized and shedded all those rhythms and came back and gave them to us on top of what he was doing,
Right,
you know?
right.
And as a result, when we finished, we didn't finish about 10 of 9 because it got good. So we stopped, gave a break, we stopped. He stopped, packed his horn. When he went off the stage, he said, how many of y'all can make a gig with me tomorrow in New York? That was that gig they did in New York.
Right.
So I said, well, I had my own group still. I couldn't make it, but I say Friday, I'll make it Friday. And I made that gig at Temple University.
Yeah.
And the drummers showed up. Oh yeah, it was one drummer I didn't mention, Charles Brown. He was on stage with us too. So Charles came up to the Temple University, and it was Umar Ali, and the three of us drummed with Train.
Yeah. Now, is that his final performance in Philadelphia?
Yeah, I'm almost certain it was.
Yeah.
Because his last performance, I think he might have did in New York.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now, what tunes did he play that night?
He played, for us, he didn't play nothing I recognized.
Yeah.
Tune-wise.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it wasn't, because I brought all his records, so I know just about all his tunes.
Yeah.
But he played a whole different thing with us. Now, what I did understand in my belief and my feelings is he wanted an African sound that he was searching, because he asked, well, how do you drummers know to play those rhythms like that? And I say, well, they all mesh, you know, and they form a body of rhythms that fit together. Each one of these rhythms fit. When you play them, they ain't out of sync. None of them are out of sync.
Right.
They all mesh together. And if my feeling is like he's reaching out towards not only just a different sound, but that inner side of yourself when you hear all these drums. Because when he wanted 2 drummers, trap drummers, 2 bass players, plus his name is Algie DeWitt. He played a 2-handed drum at Temple with us. So he had the drums, he had the trap drummers, and he wanted that sound. He was reaching for a whole entirely different sound with the basis of an African origin to it.
Yeah.
You know?
So where do you think he was going music-wise at that juncture? Because 1966, he was coming up on pretty much the last year of his life.
Yeah.
And at that juncture, where do you think his music direction was going?
I really feel that he was going towards an African orientation with changes that he felt. See, because he wanted to collaborate with all the different instruments. Like he wanted 2 bass players. He knew that these things could work. I don't know no other groups who ever tried nothing like that. Double and triple bass players, double trap drummers, conga drummers, and the horns. Rich Farrell was on that gig too with us at the time. So he was going in another direction with Africa in mind.